friends, welcome back to our Lenten Devotional series, The Hardest Part, the hurt we carry, the hope we find. Today is day 7 of our series by Kate Bowler. And today is titled, Have Faith. And we start with a short piece of scripture from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 23, verse 3. So you must be careful to do everything they tell you, but do not do what they do, for they do not practice what they preach. And Kate talks a little bit about growing up in faith and how many of us have those very sensory-based memories of faith, perhaps a moment from Vacation Bible School or scratchy Sunday clothing that our parents might have forced us into, or the exact slide of the pew that may or may not be as comfortable as we would have liked it to be. Maybe it's something wonderful. Maybe it's something difficult. And Kate talks about how faith is a living thing, how those memories are real and they exist and they are important, but also that how we feel about those memories might change throughout our lives. How we feel about faith might change throughout our lives. We might even outgrow certain ideas, cultures, beliefs. And so one of the things about faith, about living in the world that we live, is that we might find ourselves longing to find a safe space where our faith can grow and where we find belonging. But unfortunately, that doesn't always happen. I've been in those situations where you've gone into a church space hoping to find the loving community of Christ and instead walking away feeling a bit burned, a bit hurt, sometimes a lot hurt. And when those moments happen, it's important that we don't just dismiss them, but that we understand them, that we try and work on what caused them, because being the place of belonging is what we need to do as the church, what I hope to do as a minister of a church, of 3 beautiful churches. And reminding ourselves that we're not perfect, but we also have a responsibility to be the love we wish to see in the world, to welcome all and embrace love, kindness, and compassion. And so Kate asks us to respond. When it comes to faith, we can't solve it all, or even understand it all. But we can focus on what we do know that rings true, and follow through with action that matches. What loving action can you take as an act of faith today? She also says, if you have been deeply hurt by the church, we are so sorry you have found pain where you should have found hope. And they've put together a church hurt support guide with resources. And if you need that resource, let me know. But it's also linked in the PDF if that's what you're following along with. And so, what is a loving action that you can take as an act of faith today? Well, my friends, for any of you who have been hurt by the church, in a place where you found pain when you should have found hope, we light this candle. We light this candle for you, for those of you who have been hurt by the church, who want to go back, for those of you who are scared or hurt, too much so to go back, that you might find church wherever you can be, and that Christ meets you in those vulnerable spaces and tells you, you are loved, you belong. And Kate leaves us with blessing for honest faith. Blessed are you who feel disappointed, even embarrassed by what people did in religion's name. Your heart longs for something trustworthy, something real. You see through the cultural scripts that turn faith into a game of winners and losers, where faith smells of hustle and someone is always selling something. But somewhere in my mind's recesses, you carry the trace of something truer, some moment when you brushed up against a goodness so pure that it settled into your heart. A trustworthiness so vast that thereafter you couldn't accept any counterfeits. Blessed are you who keep searching for that again, who dare to hope for faith that is lived out so genuinely, with gentleness, with honesty so bright, it lets something beautiful shine through. If you can't get the theology right, may you not worry too long. Maybe it's better to live honestly by the light of what you know to do that looks most like you. And let it remain a holy mystery. My friends, I'll see you back here tomorrow for day 8. And until then, I bid you all a really wonderful day. Bye-bye.